Hi Scorpio, welcome to March. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I get started on your reading, I want to call in some good energy. So how are you guys doing this month? We've got a full moon in Virgo on March 9th. And then right after that, Mercury goes direct on the same day. And then we have the spring equinox on the 20th when the sun moves into Aries. And then we have a new moon in Aries on the 24th. So a lot of the energy is going to start moving forward. You know, we've had Mercury retrograde for the past 3 weeks. Saturn is changing signs into Aquarius. Venus is hooking up with Uranus this month in Taurus. So if you've been feeling stuck or slowed down last month, things are going to start to move with this spring and the new moon in Aries. So let's see what, we'll get into the astrology later, but let's see what Scorpio needs to know about love and relationships. What is coming up for Scorpio in March 2020 around love and relationships? What does Scorpio need to know about love and relationships in 2020, of March 2020? Okay, the Ace of Cups. Awesome. The World. Wow, I think March is going to be a loving month for everyone. Knight of Wands in the past, the High Priestess, the King of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So we have the Ace of Cups and the World. This is like amazing. So the World is really about completion, coming to the end of a cycle. So you're ending a cycle. If there was someone in your life that was taking up a lot of your time and energy, that's coming to an end. And you have this Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning in love, a new beginning, a new emotional, in emotions, a new, you have an opportunity for a new love. And it could happen pretty quickly in March. Because the Eight of Wands is here, that's news coming in, messages, travel. You might be traveling to meet someone, or someone might be traveling to see you. You have the Knight of Wands in the past. And that's, you might have dealt with someone in the past that was a little bit of a player. Because the Knight of Wands energy is someone who is very, very fun when he's around, he or she. Makes a lot of promises but doesn't always follow through. So it's like when you've got them, it's great, but then when they're gone, and they're like very flighty kind of energy. They're not stable, they're not reliable. This can also come up when you're changing jobs or moving. So you might have recently changed jobs or changed where you work or where you live, because this comes up with, it's a travel card, it's a change of job, change of residence. But as a person, this Knight could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they're not, they could be a little bit frustrating. Like they promise everything, but they don't deliver, you know? So they're all talk and no action sometimes. Now, with the World though, the World is also about things coming to completion and everything starting to fall together. So even though this is a past influence, I feel like coming in the moving into the future, we're starting with this month, and maybe even because the Ace of Cups, the time frame, things may start in March, but I don't think they're going to come to completion until maybe the summer. So June, July, August might be when you finally reach some type of resolution with this new love. I think that the energies are going to start to happen now in March. Messages coming in, feelings, opportunities opening up. And the world is about, your life is going to be changing in a way that everything's going to feel like it's going to fall into place. So whatever you've done in the past, it's leading you to this moment. It's almost like you had to go through these past experiences so that you could reach this point and then appreciate where you're at. Because the world is about existing in a state of grace. So this new love is going to bring you to a new level. So where one thing is ending, it's time to now transition to a next level. And that could be happening in a relationship where you're transitioning from, for some of you it could be something ends, something new begins. For others it could be something, you come to some type of conclusion about a relationship and you decide to take it to the next level. So you might be moving into more of a committed thing or showing more love, like where things might have been casual in the past. They're going to get a lot more stable in the future, or they're going to be transitioning to a new level of connection. You have the High Priestess in the recent past. So there have been things going on about behind the scenes that you haven't been aware of, maybe with this person. Maybe there are reasons why this person was so flighty. And this may come out around the full moon in Virgo. Because usually things are revealed around the full moons. And with the High Priestess, you almost have to kind of trust your intuition. So, because you're flying blind. You don't know exactly what's going on, but you have a hunch about things. So, the High Priestess is saying, go within. Take time out and quiet your mind and listen to that inner voice, that guidance that comes. It's like divine messages coming through. Quiet. And you have to quiet your mind to hear them. Like I always say, prayer is speaking to the divine, and meditation is listening for the answer. So you may have been spending some time doing a lot of thinking, doing a lot of, not knowing what's going on, and waiting to see what's going to happen. Coming up in the future, though, you have this King of Cups energy and the Eight of Wands. So the King of Cups, that could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, like yourself. But it could also represent someone, even if it's not a water sign, someone who's very nurturing, someone who's has like a healing energy. So you might be meeting up with someone who you can just talk to. You can tell them everything and they understand. They have this compassionate energy. Like almost like a counselor or a healer. They're just very calm. So whatever, like you might be in an emotional state and you go to this person and you can just tell them and they calm you down when you talk to them. They're like, oh, don't worry, And just by you venting, you kind of like, it's like therapy. Because this person is a healer, this King of Cups. Very, very compassionate energy, but he keeps his feelings hidden. So he or she, it's not someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. So there could be someone around you who really likes you or cares about you, but they don't always show it. They may not always show it. Maybe they're a secret. Maybe that's the secret with the High Priestess, that they've always cared, but they've never let you know. And now, I think in this month, they're going to start to show it more. The Eight of Wands is a message. Messages coming in, opportunities, doors opening up, travel, the arrows of love, and even journeys. Maybe you're going, if you decide to travel, you might meet someone while you're on vacation or while you're visiting, while you're traveling. But I don't know, with the King, I feel like you already know this person. So I feel it's more that someone who has kept their feelings hidden they're going to come out with their feelings. They're going to be showing more love in March. Maybe you had to keep the relationship hidden for some reason. But this person's going to be wanting to connect with you. Even if not in person, then definitely through messages, because I'm seeing the arrows of love and message and things happening quickly. The Eight of Swords. You have the fear. This is a fear card, and it's in your fear sector. You feel like you're stuck. You've been trapped. You're afraid to move out of the situation, or maybe you feel like your hands are tied, that there's nothing you can do to make anything change, and you're afraid to take action with the Eight of Swords. So maybe a relationship was kind of going through a confusing period, or a on again, off again type of period. And with the Eight of Swords, you're just feeling stuck. Like, I don't know, I don't know if I should stay or leave, or I don't know what to do. But the Eight of Swords is like, you can just walk away. If something's not working, if someone's not being honest with you or not treating you properly, you can just walk away. But for some reason, you're afraid to take action, so you're just staying stuck. I think you have a fear of leaving something. But your environment, you have the Wands, the Four of Wands. You're coming into a period where your environment this is a card of victory and success and stability. So don't let your fears get in the way of your success. Because the Four of Wands is also a card of commitment and sometimes marriage. So there could be someone, if there's someone who's interested in you, they're not looking, there could be someone new or someone that reveals themselves, I should say, not necessarily new, who's looking for a more stable relationship, who wants something solid and stable that can lead to marriage. So this could have been someone in the past, this Knight of Wands, and maybe this person, you have experienced instability in relationships in the past. But this this person coming in, and I keep saying new, but it could be a new person, but it could also be an old person that you're seeing in a new way. Or there's a new beginning with this person. And this time around, they're wanting something more. I think that you may have left someone behind that wasn't reliable, that was kind of a player, making promises, not keeping them. But now, the new energy coming in, I think there's a better connection. There's someone that you can really resonate with. And here you have this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a romantic proposal. Someone who is wanting love, wanting stability, offering you love. Here's the Ace of Cups, here's the Knight of Cups. So there's a new beginning in love coming. I think it could be someone from the past coming back. Especially since if this is happening over the summer, like June, July, that's when Venus is going retrograde. It causes you to revisit things from the past and see if you can rework them. And sometimes the Knight of Cups can represent someone who left because they thought the grass was greener on the other side, or they just had to do their thing. And they're realizing they made a mistake, and they're coming back now to offer you love. So someone could be returning, like a prodigal son or something, like someone who was gone or missing, and maybe you haven't talked in a while, and now they're coming back and they're wanting to offer you love and stability. And here's this Queen of Pentacles. This could even be you or someone you're dealing with. It could be an earth sign. But I feel like this is you, that you want stability and security in a relationship. You're not looking for fly-by-night, the player energy anymore. You're tired of that. You're done with that. And mostly because it's hard. Once you get, Scorpio is when you care about someone, your feelings run very deep. And it's very hard for Scorpio sometimes to detach. So when you get into something, it's really hard for you to get out of it. So this time you might want to be a little bit more cautious about what you're getting involved in, like, checking someone out before you give your heart away. Making sure that whatever they're offering you is something that is going to last, not just a moment, but you want to connect with for a lifetime and at the soul level. And I think you can have that. I think that's coming. Now, the Knight of Cups can also represent your thinking here. You might have a little bit of, how do I put this? When you think about love, sometimes your thoughts can be a little bit unrealistic, or you're caught up in the romance of a relationship and not seeing things practically or realistically. Or maybe that has been you in the past, where you fantasize about someone, or you meet someone, you really like them, and it's like he becomes your prince, or he or she, or your princess, and you're not really seeing them in their true light, or you're idealizing them in some way, or you have an idealistic view of a love relationship. So you may have to use the energy, become like the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very practical. She doesn't give her heart away. She looks at things from a realistic perspective. She doesn't get caught up in fantasy. So I think you're going to be more like, you're going to be tapping into this energy in March. Because of whatever you've experienced in the past, it's made you wiser. So you're not really ready to give your heart away, let your heart rule your head, which the water signs have a tendency to do. You get caught up in the romance, and that's fine because you're so sensitive and caring. But you have to also be a little bit more discerning and say, okay, this person's offering me love or wanting something, let me really look into it and make sure whatever they're offering, it's going to be stable, that it's not just an empty promise. That's the only thing I would caution against. But other than that, I think that this is exciting. Eight of Wands is exciting energy. Things happening quickly. You might even be afraid that things are happening too quickly. Because once things start to change, it might kind of scare you. Because oh my God, am I really getting what I've always wanted? And that might be where the Eight of Swords come in. You're afraid to accept the love that's coming. So don't let fear hold you back from love. But at the same time, don't fall for empty promises. Be realistic when you're looking at someone and test them, kind of. Make sure, take your time, make sure that whatever they're saying they are is true. And you can only know that through time, spending time with the person, getting to know them, seeing how they act over time. Because if someone is acting, is pretending, they can't keep that up forever. Eventually the real person comes out. So if you jump into a relationship too quickly, you don't really have enough time to see what they're really about, You're just seeing the surface, you're seeing the facade. But as you spend time with someone, you start to see the true colors come out. And then you can know for sure, okay, yeah, if this person, we've been together for a while now and he or she still seems to be the same way, the same, they haven't changed, they haven't drastically changed, they haven't turned into, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I can now feel safe falling in love with them or opening up to them. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So yeah, you're having a full moon in the 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, friendship. The sun is in the 5th house. Now the sun, at this full moon in Virgo, the sun is connecting with Neptune. So that's why I'm saying with this Knight of Cups, make sure you're not over giving someone more credit than they're worth. Because you're in this dream state with Neptune. You might be seeing what you want to see and not really seeing the person for who they are. Neptune can bring a soulmate or someone that seems like a soulmate, and you don't know till later if they really were a soulmate or if they're just, wearing this facade of glamour. So you just want to be careful that you're seeing the person realistically. Oh, a good way to test that is to introduce the person to your friends or to someone who's not emotionally involved. They can see things that you may miss, because when you love someone, you only see the good side of them. You only see what you want to see. This person could be very romantic. It could be a new, want to and sweep you off your feet. Especially since you have Jupiter. And Mars is actually trining this moon. Mars is going to be in your 5th house. Your 4th house, I'm sorry. Third house. I've got this chart here. I'm mixing people up. Okay, Mars is in your third house. And you have a lot of planets. All the Capricorn energy is going through your third house. So you've got Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. Mars is favoring this moon. So it's favoring taking action. It's favoring travel. It's favoring communication. Only with Mars, Mars has impatient energy. So you want to be careful with your communication style. You don't want to come across as too pushy when Mars is in your third house. But things are going to start happening around. I mean, you might have some things happening or coming to completion with your friends, neighbors, relatives, brothers, sisters. There might be some issue that comes to light and you complete something or you communicate about something. Mars kind of is activating your third house, which is the house of communication. It's also the house of contracts. So if you're signing a contract, starting a new job, whatever you're signing into, whatever you're committing to, it's going to be in place for a long time. So you want to make sure you're checking all the boxes and reading the fine print. Now, Jupiter and Pluto, when they come together, that's kind of like abundance, or it's intense energy. Pluto and Jupiter brings opportunity. Pluto brings the ability to transform. Saturn brings longevity and hard work. So, you could be completing a project that you've been working on for a long time, and it's going to bring you some recognition. And you might have to do some type of communication. You might have to be communicating, or you might be coming into a position dealing with people in power. Venus is moving into Taurus at the beginning of March, and it's connecting with Uranus in your 7th house. So that's where there could be surprising developments around relationships. Venus can attract love, can bring someone in, and suddenly someone that you have, I never expected to meet this person. You could be meeting them, running around the neighborhood. And it could be unexpected developments. You could be connecting with someone who's a free spirit, someone that can't be tied down. But it could also bring someone who's very exciting and brings a new energy. It frees you from maybe a past relationship. So this new energy comes in and it frees you from whatever you were spending your time with in the past. I think that travel and communication are going to be important in the way this works out. So someone could be moving, or you could be traveling to see them. I feel like it's time for you to get out of your comfort zone. You might be connecting with someone who opens up a new world for you. Like you might travel together, or they may have different beliefs. You may share different belief systems, or have different ideas about things, and you can teach and learn from each other. Because this person is so different. It could be there could be a cultural difference. But whatever it is, with when Venus comes together with Uranus, expect the unexpected, expect surprises, expect excitement. And it's in your 7th house, so it's around relationships. Now, this could be it could be a romantic relationship that has potential to be serious, but it can also revolve around business partnerships. So there could be some opportunities in your career as well. Sudden opportunities, like someone offers you a job, you're starting a new job. You have to move, that could happen also. So just expect the unexpected. See what flies in, But it looks good. Whatever, if it's a career thing, with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's going to mean money. You're going to be making more money. You're going to feel more financially secure. And if it's love, someone is going to be hot and heavy for you and want a serious commitment. So just see what blows in this month. It looks promising for love for Scorpio this month. Then we have the new moon in Aries. So first we have the spring equinox that's when Mars conjuncts with Jupiter. So it's a time to take action. You're going to be feeling restless because Mars is one of your ruling planets. You might feel restless around the 20th of March and leading up to the new moon, because Mars is going to be very strong. Mars is moving it's in Capricorn, where it's in a strong sign in Capricorn. But it's going to be connecting with Jupiter and then Pluto as it travels through Capricorn. So, and that's all happening in your 3rd house. And this new moon is happening in your 6th house. And it's connecting with Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So it's possible you could have a new beginning in career, in work. You might find yourself in a position, something needs to be healed in your work environment. And you could get a new opportunity that heals whatever's been difficult in the past. You're moving into a new situation that's going to heal a lot of things. It could also be, if you've had any health problems, this is going to be a new opportunity for healing. Maybe you'll find a solution to whatever has been bugging you. Venus definitely still in the 7th. Now, as Venus progresses, first it connects with Uranus in the 7th, and then it moves and it trines as it goes through Taurus. Because Uranus is like 3 degrees Taurus. So when Venus first enters Taurus at the beginning of the month, it's going to hit Uranus. And then as it progresses toward this new moon, it's going to be like 20 degrees Taurus. It's going to be trining Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars in your 3rd house. So I feel like communication is going to be important. If you're talking to someone, it could be like that the relationship is really developing through some type of line of communication. So maybe if you're not seeing the person, you might be just communicating and getting to know each other and having deep conversations. I think that's going to be key. You have to drop your guard and really get to know each other through conversations. No more like idle chit-chat or superficial. You really need to talk to the person and find out, what they're all about. Also, Mercury is going to be in your 5th house. So that's another communication planet. And it's going to be sextile Uranus in your 7th. So you might even hear from someone that you haven't heard from, or someone might surprise you with their communication. Surprising communications. Mercury's still in Pisces, but then it's going to be, by this time it's moved out of Aquarius. It's gone direct back into Pisces. So Mercury and Pisces can be confusing. Someone could be giving you mixed messages. Or someone could be very romantic, but then, Mercury's weak in Pisces, so you have to ask a lot of questions. But whatever is going to be happening around this new moon, it's going to surprise you. You might hear from someone you never expected to hear from. And they may have a message that you never expected to hear, maybe messages of love or messages, whatever it is, I can't even say, because when it comes to Uranus, you can't predict what's going to happen. All I can tell you is that you will be surprised. You're going to hear from someone. You're going to get a message that you didn't expect. It may just happen suddenly out of the blue. And there are going to be surprising developments in your relationships at this time. And especially since Venus is trining Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, and Capricorn. And also it will move into, as it moves out of Taurus into Gemini, it's going to trine Saturn. Whatever you start right now, it can be in place for a long time. Whenever Saturn's involved, it represents stability, commitment, longevity. So things are starting to happen, and it could down the road lead to a commitment. But it's going to be an exciting month in any case. I think that you're going to find a lot of surprises, a lot of surprising changes, and an opportunity for love in March. And you're going to feel like everything's coming together. So you'll have the job, you'll have the lover, and you'll be feeling